Hello everyone, it's been a long time since I've posted. It's about 15 months now since I've been trying with my husband. 15 months, maybe give or take a couple months, definitely add on a couple months since I took my IUD out, and it's been a long journey. I'm currently seeing a fertility specialist and a naturopath, and with their help and so much Googling. It's not even funny anymore, the amount of Googling I do to check out different methods women use, different supplements women take, and trying to see whether it would be beneficial to me in any way. Currently, I take so many pills, it's not even funny. I take a lot of pills, and some suggested through my naturopath, some I found through a company called Natural Fertility, if I'm remembering that correctly. But they have a page on YouTube, so you might be able to find it if you search. It's been run by a naturopath who specializes in fertility. So I've gotten a few things off of them, and I'm taking really all of them. With my fertility specialist, I'm taking Clomid. This time around, I did 100 milligrams for all the months I've been seeing him since around April of this year. I've been taking 50, and he hasn't wanted to put me on anything higher. This month was the first time that he put me on 100, and I think it worked. It worked nicely, if not in unison with everything else I'm taking. Something worked this month because I'm currently pregnant, y'all. I am pregnant at the moment. The only sad thing is it's going to be a chemical pregnancy, so I'm in the process of miscarrying. Okay, so here's the story about how all of this went down, okay? And maybe if anybody sees this, that maybe has some sort of answers for me, or maybe they've gone through this or know someone has gone through this, maybe you can help me understand what happened. Because right now at this moment, today is December 26th, 2016, and my fertility specialist is closed, as is my naturopath, so I cannot get in touch with anyone to help me understand what is going on. So if you have any idea, or if you've experienced this, please, jot down a few lines. Let me know what you think is going on here. So basically, December 1st, I had IUI number 2. My husband had great motility, 100% motility. If I remember correctly, over 300 million sperm cells. So great sample. IUI number 1 was also a very great sample, but this time around it worked. So 2-week wait happened. I made a pledge to myself this time around that I was not testing, and would you believe, I actually succeeded in that. I did not test, not once, not even to check that my Overgel shot, my trigger shot had, gone out of my system. I just did not test, and I'm very proud of myself that I didn't. I was able to maintain and not test. So the whole month went by. The 2-week wait went by, and I did not test. And what happened was, right around 70 people, no, exactly 7 days. Thursday, December 1st, I did the IUI. The following Thursday, I had major cramping, like major cramping. It was so painful. I'd never gone through this in my life before. And the IUI came with its own cramps. So I wasn't sure what was going on, especially because IUI number 1, I did not experience any cramping, days after, like a week after, you know what I mean? So I called into my doctor's office and I told them, hey, this is what's going on. I got a call back. I was able to leave a message then, and I got a call back, and they said, I spoke to the nurse, and she said, well, this can't be an ectopic pregnancy, because at this point, 7-8 days after IUI, it wouldn't be big enough to be causing any pain if it was an ectopic pregnancy. So just keep monitoring it. If it gets worse, directly going to an emergency room. If it doesn't, then it's not that thing, and she's like, don't go on Google. But of course, like I said, I Google, okay? I Google. So I went on Google and everything pointed in a good direction. Everyone was saying it was, it was implantation, but I didn't want to think it was implantation. I was like, nah, I get these little, no, well, not that kind of cramping, but I've been getting all these things that didn't, never amounted to anything. So I didn't want to take it as implantation. I even went on my Ovia app and I conducted a poll and I asked the ladies, like, what do you guys think this is? And everyone was like, implantation, right? And I'm like, nah, I don't think that's implantation. That can't be implantation because listen, 15 months and I don't even know what implantation feels like. I don't think this is it. So, again, I put that on my head. Okay, so I work with kids. And of course, this tis the season to be sick. So everyone's getting a cough or a cold, and suddenly I'm starting to feel sick. I'm getting nausea, I'm getting headaches like crazy. I'm like drinking a ton of water. And so I'm thinking to myself, of course, there's that little voice in the back of your head that says, okay, hey, maybe you should take a test, right? But then, I'm sitting there thinking about this to myself, and that little voice says test. The other voices in my head said, hey, everybody around you is sick. Parents are coming in sick. Kids are coming in sick. You're probably just getting sick. I mean, because hey, I kiss upon my kids like they're my own. So it's not, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for me to catch a cold. It happens to me all the time because I kiss upon, I love upon my kids. So naturally I might catch something. So I'm thinking, nah, you're just probably catching a cough or a cold or a combination of the two. And that's what you're feeling. Yo, I was drinking water so much. My throat was just constantly dry. And I live on YouTube for women who take pregnancy tests and, you know, give you their 2-week weights and what we did different this month. I live on YouTube. I've seen hundreds of you women who post videos and I like and I comment sometimes. I'm not subscribed to all of you because goodness knows if I was, my subscription box would be so full. But, I watch a lot of your videos. So a lot of what you experience, I'm like, okay, thirst, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm sick. Maybe my sickness is because of this. Mind you, on my Ovia app, which is some of you might know what this is. It's a period and pregnancy tracking sort of, app. And one day I went in and I you update your app and you punch in your symptoms and so on. And I did just that. I went in and I put in my symptoms and I just happened to put in that I have a cold. Right? The option is cold/flu. So I checked it. I have a cold. When I go back to the home page, it says something to the effect that if you have a cold doesn't necessarily mean it's a cold. It could mean you're pregnant. Now, like I said, I follow a lot of you women on YouTube. So there's one particular couple. I've been following their journey from the very beginning, from the time they had like about 200 subscribers. I've been following them, right? And so Follow the Hills is their name, right? And I remember she also had a chemical pregnancy. And when that happened for her, she said she was sick. The following month, she got pregnant again. She's still pregnant. Great. I mean, well, that's a whole nother story for me. But she's still pregnant. But the the thing here is she also got colds. And this is the first person in all the women I've watched on YouTube who said that, she got colds. So of course, again, I have a cold. Wait, nah. No, it's just a cold. Everyone's around you sick. You're not pregnant. You're just getting a cold. Fast forward to, what was the date of last? Okay. Roughly around, 2-week wait happens. 7 days, 8 days after, I get cramps. It's nothing. It's not any topic. It's okay. Another 7 days go by, and Friday, The following Thursday, then the Friday, my period comes. It starts full blown. I'm like, oh, yeah, there you go. See, I knew it. I wasn't pregnant. All these symptoms. I'm just sick. That's it. I just caught a cold. End of story. Period lasts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Right on schedule. Stopped and started like it was supposed to, right? So, of course, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not pregnant. I called into my fertility specialist and they're like, well, if it didn't happen this month, then, you're going to have to take a month off because, well, the rest of this month off because they're closing for holidays, right? So I call my husband. I tell him, hey, this is what's going on, and we're not going to be able to continue and do another IUI until like next year. So that's essentially what we did. So we waited. Okay, Monday. Okay, my period ends Monday. Tuesday night, I decided to test. Why? Only because I'm starting to do a cleanse because it's been months now. I've been taking Clomid and Alvedrol shots and everything, and I just want to cleanse my body before I start the new year and do this whole thing all over again. So I met with a herbalist, and he's putting all the stuff together for me, but I know that I have to take a pregnancy test to make, absolutely sure that I'm not pregnant before I start it. You know what I mean? Because toxins leaving your body could really impact a fetus, and you don't want that to happen. So I, I come home last week Tuesday, went into the bathroom, didn't tell my husband a thing. As a matter of fact, I haven't said a thing to him every month I've tested. I never really asked him to come with me because I want to do it on my own. I don't want to see that sort of disappointment on his face. So I've been doing it on my own. But anyways, like usual, I didn't call him in. And I did the test. And at first I'm like, I think I see a line. But then, line eyes, I've heard of those. And I had it a few times. So I'm like, line eyes, I'm not going to pay attention. So I go ahead and brush my teeth. I get in the shower, come out the shower. And I'm like, oh, wait, right, let's see the test. Positive. Positive. So freaking positive. I couldn't believe it was so freaking positive. So I run out the bathroom. I'm like calling my husband. He's like sitting here playing GTA. I'm like, yo, you need to get off this thing because I need you to look at this test for me. I'm like, come out the living room, come into the bathroom where it's very bright. I'm like, you need to come in here and look at this test. So he looks at it. I'm like, how many lines do you see? He says, he sees 2. He's like, what does that mean? I'm like, it means I'm pregnant. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, 2 lines means I'm pregnant. That's basically what it means. Your wife is pregnant. So I'm getting excited and I'm like I'm so excited. I'm pulling out tests from underneath, but under the vanity, under the sink. And I'm like dipping and dipping and dipping and testing. Oh, sorry, I'm moving forward. I did that one test. I poured out the sample, the pee, because I'm like, I'm not pregnant, right? So I'm like, and I just poured it out. Usually I keep it. This time around, for some reason, I'm like, this is not going to be positive. I'm just going to pour it out. I poured it out. Test is positive, right? So I'm like, okay, I can't test again. So the next morning, I did 3 pregnancy tests before I went to work. 3 of them, all of them positive. My husband is like lurking outside the door, trying not to like make me nervous and shit. And all 3 positive. So far, 4 tests are positive. 4 tests are positive. So I go ahead, I go to work, I I call my nurse at the doctor's office and I tell him, listen, I took a pregnancy test. I explained the whole thing. And then I told her, look, it's positive. I even took ovulation sticks because I've heard from you ladies that, taking an ovulation test will show you whether you're positive. If it shows up positive, then you're pregnant. So I took a few of those and I told her all of that. And she's like, you had a full period? I'm like, yeah, I had a full period, like full from Friday to Monday, as usual. Period came. And she's like, okay, come in tomorrow morning for a test. All right, I did that. Thursday morning, I went in for a test and I went to work. And I got the call and my HCG was 32. And she's like, that's not looking good because for the point in my cycle, for that point in my cycle, I should have been about 1,000, she said. And my progesterone was 1. And I kind of like didn't hear very clearly after that because, she's already telling me it's a chemical pregnancy. So, of course, sadness and, disappointment ensues in your body. And I didn't really pay attention to what she said after that too closely. But it sounded like she said my progesterone was one. That she said for sure. And I believe she's continued with saying that it was thereabout where, you should be if your cycle had just started, which it was. I would have been, when I went into the test the Thursday, I would have been, say, cycle day 3. So the beginning of my cycle, and apparently where your progesterone should be for that cycle, for that point in your cycle. So she said it's a chemical, and of course, ooh, that day was a hard day. I cried like like nothing else. But the following day, the following day, I woke up kind of on a brighter side of things. For 15 months, I had been solidly, actively trying to get pregnant, and this time around it happened, you know? So that was exciting. That was very promising for me because I'd never ever seen a positive pregnancy test. Like, well, listen, when you're testing out the Overdrel, of course you see a positive. That only tells you that it's still in your system. But an actual test for pregnancy, I've never seen a positive. So this was a celebration for me. This was exciting because my body is not failing me. I'm not a woman. I am a woman. It worked. My husband's sperm is fine. My eggs are fine. And just to clarify, my fertility specialist, all the tests we've done, my tubes are fine, his sperm is fine, his count is fine, motility is fine. I'm fine. The only issue I have is that I will not release my eggs. Like, my eggs will grow, but my body will not release the eggs. Like, they will stay in my body and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger and then release, and then it becomes unviable, he said, or something to that effect. But like, it's like an old ass egg, basically. Sorry, language. And it's not going to really benefit me. It's not going to, amount to a pregnancy. So that's why I take the Ovidil shots. Now, the Clomid is just to sort of help to regulate my cycle because, of course, if your body's holding on to your eggs and deciding when it's ready, whenever it feels like it's going to release your egg, then that also makes your periods irregular, right? At least for me, it makes my periods very regular. So in comes Clomid and Ovidil. This time around, a combination of all of that, 100 this time around, and all of my pills, they worked. And I'm pregnant. The only thing is, yesterday, no, today is not the 26th. I'm sorry, today's the 27th. Today's Tuesday. On Christmas Day, I started to have like a very light bleed, so I thought, okay, my body's cleansing. And it stopped. So I haven't had a proper bleed to sort of, signal the full end of this cycle. So I don't know when that's going to start. I don't know if it's going to start before my usual period starts or if everything's just going to hang around until my normal period starts and then a fresh cycle begins. So we'll see. But yeah, this is where we are. I'm just hoping my next positive doesn't, take forever again. I'm taking. Listen, I'm not a big vegetable eater. I'm really not, I'll admit. I'm not big on salads. I mean, I'm not big on any of that. And I tried my best many times to do the whole green smoothie thing. And goodness knows, it's hard for me. It's not so much the taste. I can handle the taste in a green smoothie. It's really more of the, you know, the the grittiness of all the different bits and pieces. Like, I have a pretty good blender, but I feel like I don't like it. So what I've done is, from that same website, the for natural fertility, I got what they call fertility, something or another, man. But it's basically an alkaline based food blend. and you can mix into smoothies or water or juice or whatever the case is and drink it. So I got that, and I've started taking that this weekend about, and so let's see if that helps, push things along for me. But basically, I'm looking forward to my next cycle. I'm looking forward to that next positive pregnancy test, and this time around every other one, I'm going to bring my husband in and let him experience it with me, because he was so excited when it was positive. I don't know what it's going to look like if it's negative, and how his reaction might make me feel, because that's kind of been what I've been fearful of. I don't want to see sadness and disappointment on his face month after month, so I rather just go through it on my own. But I really liked the excitement on his face. I had my husband jumping around the house like a kid last Tuesday. I mean, sadly, 2 days later, we had just one day to really revel in it and think about strollers and moving and doing all this stuff. And before, the rug was pulled out from under us. But essentially, I got pregnant for the first time in 15 months. I saw 2 lines. And I'm restocking my tests, because I know I'm going to go crazy these next few months, just testing everything. Test Ovidrel out and make sure, because I know I have to stop a lot of my herbs if I'm pregnant. So I really do have to just keep testing and stop certain things. But yeah, here we go. I mean, I'm excited. Today, every moment I got free, I was watching a woman take a pregnancy test and get excited for her positive, and me excited with her for her positive, and crying a few times with a few of you for your positive. So I'm excited for mine. I'm excited for my next one. I'm excited for bump updates. I'm excited for everything now, because it happened. It happened, and I can't wait for the next one. You know what I mean? So wish me luck, guys. I just wish me luck that one day I can experience this fully like the rest of you. Thank you. Bye bye.